Alright everybody, this is Wednesday afternoon, 2:45, December 4th. I'm correct with the date this time. Back down in my shop. I do work third shift, 10 at night to 6 in the morning. Not too crazy about that shift. I'm working on maybe possibly looking at another job to where I can make more and work less and have more time off. So I'm going to be looking into that here soon. But I'm down in my shop. I got a few hours I can kill today and work on this next project. I got the sea view in the spray booth. I got to do a little bit more cleanup, but I should have it ready for paint. To paint it this weekend coming up, which I think is the 7th and the 8th. I'm off this weekend coming up, so I'll probably be down here in my workshop probably about 1 o'clock. I don't get much sleep on my weekends off because of working third shift. I take about a 4-hour nap, and then I get up and I get down here and get right into my hobby. And that's how my schedule is. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with the C-Lab and the flying sub and photo edge that I had for the flying sub. Got everything on my workbench. I know it's a garage kit. I cleaned it up, washed it up. It's ready to go to do a little more cleanup, and then I'll show the problems I have with the C-Lab and what steps I'll have to take. It's cut and dry with the flying sub because I took the other one out of the other sea view that I bought. The other one that I have, I'll show that too. I've got the magnet in it and where it can stick up inside the bay in the sea view. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe just hold off on that. When I have the flying sub, it will be attached to the top of the C-Lab because I'm going to have that all lit up. And then also we'll have the C-Lab lit up, and then I'll have it on a base. So it's going to be a complete separate model from the sea view. So shouldn't be too complicated. It's in the scale with the sea view, so I'm just not going to have a big base for it. It's going to be a standard size base. And then I'll put some rocks on it, and I'll put some sand on it, and then I've got some earth tone colored paints. I think Tamiya and some Model Masters. I'll show all that when I get to that point. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. I got a couple hours. I can work on it today and a couple hours tomorrow. But before I show what I got on my workbench, I'm going to turn around and show everybody the sea view, and then I'll get started on the C-Lab. So here we go. There's the sea view in my spray booth, and you can see right in there where I was using the Badger primer because I was doing a lot of putty work and sanding and reprimering, and I just didn't have enough of the Tamiya in the cans that I bought to do that continuous process of primer, sanding, putty, and all that good stuff. But it's almost finished. I just got to do a little bit more cleanup, and I got to double check to make sure everything's ready for the paint job that it's going to get. So I figured I'd show everybody the sea view. So she's just sitting in my spray booth looking pretty good. And then over here on my workbench, it's a simple, I mean, the instructions are great. You know, you got the docking ring right there, and then you have the dome itself, and it comes in 6 pieces. You can see right here, and then it has a dome base, and then it has the inner and outer legs, and then it has the girders. So there's not much to the kit, but the problems I was having is you got these little tabs. You can see right here. And the problem is, here's the bottom tab, and it's supposed to go in this spot right here, and you can see it's really not open like it should, and it's going to take too much to clean that up. I've got one, I think one or two that's in pretty good shape, or not. Let me see. Not really. You can see this one here is completely covered, and it's going to be too much to just open that up. I thought I had one. Yeah, this is the only one I had that was clean. You can see right there where that tab goes in and interlocks with this part of it. But I ain't got the time or patience to try to clean those all up to where they can interlock. So the best thing I can do is just cut off those tabs. And I think it's like super glue. Yeah, it's saying CA glue or epoxy. And I've got 5-minute epoxy, and I got CA glue, so won't be a problem with joining these parts together. But I'm going to have to take my clips and clip those off. And the same with these. You got these little I don't know, what do you want to call them? They interlock. You can see right here. And I had to sand those down a little bit because these are not lining up like they should. I can show that real quick. I mean, it's well made, but to line it up, that's about the best I'm going to get. So I'm going to have a gap on top here and over on this side, and I'm going to have to try to round that off, clean it up. And that's going to be a little bit tricky, but nothing that I can't accomplish. But that's what I got planned. I'm working on with this today. Just trying to see how I can clean this all up. Get this all ready. Here's the photo edge that comes with I bought for the flying sub. Here's the flying sub right here. I took it out of the other kit, cleaned it all up. It's ready to go. Here's the bottom of the flying sub, and then the other flying sub I've got right here. It's already primered, and I got the magnet on top there. You can see, and with the lighting I'm going to have inside it, I just don't know if that's going to interfere with anything. Probably won't, but since I've got this other one, it's going to be easy just to assemble the photo edge, and like it shows you right here in that picture, and then just go ahead and mount it on the inside of the flying sub. But I'll have to paint it and all that and put it all together, and I'll show how to do that. On the front here, it's got a nice picture of the C-Lab, and then it shows it's got some rocks down here, and I can use that sand that I have, and then with the earth tone colors I got, I can lighten that up. It's a resin, so I can go ahead and primer it if I have to, and then just add the colors I need. And I got oil paints, so it should look pretty cool. And this is got a basic lighting for the dome and the legs. I might go with a warm white, because back in the 60s they didn't really have anything really that bright with, you know, like even on Star Trek with the lighting for the Enterprise, not like the shows they have out today with the lights being real bright. But I think I've got enough in stock for warm white to get this taken care of. But I'll have to put this on a base. Like I said, it's not going to be a very big base because it's not that big. And here's the top, and then it sits on there something like that, and I don't think I can hold it. I'll have to get my bearings here. But it sits on top like so, on top of the, there you go, on top of the C-Lab, and that's how I'll have it set. And I'll have the wiring coming through the flying sub through here and into the main dome, and then probably out through one of the legs, so I can have it hooked up to some direct power. It's gonna look pretty cool. But gonna go ahead, put my camera up, set it up on here, and then to show everybody what steps I'm gonna take in getting this started. I'm not gonna do this in one weekend. It's gonna take me a while to do, especially with the photo edge and cleaning everything up, make sure everything fits good. I did clip off the tabs on this one and this one right here, and they're lining up really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the others, clip off those tabs, and then I'll have to work on the legs. The girders look pretty good. I'll have to double check, make sure everything looks clean. There was a lot of flash on this kit, but being a garage kit, that's what you're normally going to have. But it's looking good. It shouldn't take me forever to do it, but with me, I take my time. I should have all the paints I need. I should have all the lighting I need. It's just the time of building and putting it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, back on the C-Lab. Yesterday off camera I was working with these parts on the C-Lab, the legs, and they're in pretty bad shape. I tried what did I do with it? I tried the CA glue and it just wasn't working, even with the kicker that I have, and just wasn't bonding, didn't work, didn't do a good job. So I had to go with my 5-minute epoxy, and worked fine. And then I went ahead and I filled in the gaps, very bad seams, because the legs are not lining up very well, and I used some Bondo. It's going to be some cleanup on these, just like the sea view, and I don't know, I'll keep my fingers crossed and see how these turn out, but I'm thinking of maybe taking my calipers out and measuring the diameter of this, and maybe going to Lowe's or Home Depot and picking up some PVC and make my own, because it's just a simple hole right here, and then I've got some styrene that's real thin and flexible, and I can just probably make up my own legs, but we'll see. I'm always like a challenge, so I'm going to go ahead and try to clean these up first and see if I can get them to look halfway decent, and then the girders here look fine, as you can see here. Clean them all up real good, and washed up all the parts, so everything's good to go. These here, I'm going to have to just use my 5-minute epoxy and just hold them together until they bond. And I might show doing one on camera just so everybody can see, because I just want them to all line up so the top here will fit like so, and then I'll have the flying sub on top. But that's my goal. I'm going to try to get this together, and then on the inside here, I can just probably use some more 5-minute epoxy in here, get a strip of styrene just to give it some extra strength to hold it together. I'll see once I get to that part. I wasn't thinking when I put these legs together, I should have probably light blocked the inside, but that's not going to be a big thing. I could probably even use my tulip right here. I got plenty of it in stock, and it's just going to be a simple lighting for all 3 legs. I think I got enough warm white LEDs to do this. because that's what I'm going to use. I'm not going to use anything real bright, and I only need 3, one for each leg, and then the dome to light up. But that tulip never fails me. A lot of guys use this online for light blocking, so that won't be a problem with this. And it's going to be primered anyways on the outside, so I'm not going to worry too much about the light blocking on those. Same with these. But let me go ahead. Got my 5-minute epoxy right here. I don't take much out. It just takes about 5 minutes before, well, it takes 5 minutes to start curing. I don't have to add that much or use that much. Kind of eye it. Stuff goes a long ways. Just take your old toothpick, mix it up. I know it's going to have some problems, this being a garage kit. Be a lot of cleanup and stuff that you just got to modify, stuff you have to change, work around. But figured I'd show everybody. This stuff works pretty fast. I know they got a 1-minute epoxy, but that's just cutting it too close. I think they might have 3-minute too. I got some in stock that I think it's 15 minutes. 10-15 minutes. I really thought that super glue would work, but it didn't. So I'm going to go ahead, apply a little here on the side. There's some patience here and just hold her together. Figured I'd show everybody at least this part. And then I can finish up off camera. I have to ask my brother if he's got any PVC. But I don't know, I'll see. It shouldn't be too hard to clean up those legs. It's not going together too bad. You can see here. I'm going to have a small base for it too. It's not going to be too big. And then I'll see if I got room in my display case for it once the sea view's done. I should have that done this weekend. I'm going to try to maybe film the top part of the sub in my spray booth painting it. I'll figure that out this Saturday coming up. I've had that 5-minute epoxy for a long time, and it's never failed me. It's good. It's good glue. I just don't want to bore everybody on these steps of putting this C-Lab together. But I figured I'd at least show everybody the first step here on this. I was going to film the legs yesterday, and I just didn't want to stretch it out too much, so I did that all off camera. These parts are a little bit more bigger, of course, than the legs. Don't look like I'm going to have that much cleanup on these, on this dome. Then when I get to the part of the photo edge on the flying sub, I'll go ahead and film that part too. I'm going to have to either watch a video on YouTube to get the right colors on the inside of the flying sub, because it doesn't come with decals, and that's okay. I can just go ahead and paint that all up. It's starting to hold now. It'll take too long to bond. Like I said, about 5 minutes. Little patience, and there you have it. It's 2 pieces. It comes in 6. Got 2 more right here, and then I have the other 2 right here, and it sets up, let's see, like on top like that. You can see here it's gonna look pretty cool. That'd be decent scale. And of course the flying sub will be sitting right on top here. So I figured I'd give everybody a look at the steps to getting this together. That's glue is working just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, finish the other 2 up, and I'll be let me finish these 2 up, and then I'll show everybody the results. So I'll pause for now, and I'll be right back. Alright everybody, back on the C-Lab. I got it finished. It's in 3 sections. You can see here, and use the 5-minute epoxy. It's going to be a decent size C-Lab for 128. This of course sets up on top like so, and then the flying sub lands on top of it. I'll show everybody. Hopefully the flying sub won't make everything fall apart. Be a little tricky. Get that lined up. Yeah. Let's see. Alright, now
always works better off camera, guys. Let me see if I can get coordinated enough here. It sits on top like so. Flying sub. I'll leave it like that. That looks pretty awesome. It's going to be a decent sized little display once it's done. Basic lighting for the C-Lab, and all the lighting effects and all that will be, of course, in the flying sub. But I figured I'd at least get this started. Not going to take me as long as it did the C-View. C-View's still in my spray booth. I'm going to try to get that painted and done this weekend coming up. I'm off on, I think, the 7th and the 8th of December. But I wanted to go ahead and get this started. Legs here, I may have to, you know, see what I can do cleaning these up. And if worse comes to worse, maybe I'll just use my calipers, measure the dimensions on this, and go and buy me some PVC. We'll see when I get to that part. But I wanted to get this done, at least get the C-Lab in sections together today, which I did with the 5-minute epoxy, which I used right here. And I'm going to call this a wrap for part 1 on the 1/28 scale C-Lab and the 1/28 scale flying sub. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. See if I can scoot this out a little bit more so everybody can see it. That's going to look really cool when it's all done. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I'll talk with everybody later.